Teach.
My name is Hathikhanavala, and I teach at Henry Ford Community College in Dearborn, Michigan.
Thank you. So what's it like teaching first year comp at Henry Ford?
It is kind of amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah, we have a really diverse student body, and we have a lot of very interesting ideas coming in from all different kinds of people, and a lot of challenges because they're very diverse and they don't always like to acknowledge that. But when they come in, they're usually ready to learn.
What do you feel like you draw on that students already know when they come into your classes?
This is going to sound maybe not that awesome, but a lot of it is trying to take away some of the things they think they already know.
Mm-hmm. Like what kinds of things?
They've been kind of trained to write, but they haven't really learned to write, and so they think that writing is this one thing that they're supposed to do. Like they already know how to do it, they just have to do it again. And so a lot of it has to do with saying, well, you know, you've done this before, let's take what was good from that thing before, and then move forward.
And do they all think it's one thing, or do they all have their own ideas about what the one thing is?
It varies. A lot of them think it's one thing. A few people think it's their own thing.
And what is the one thing they think it is?
Very formulaic. We get a lot of people who think writing is always a 5-paragraph essay still, which is a little bit disturbing. But they come in not necessarily ready to sound like themselves. They think they should all sound kind of the same instead of kind of exploring ideas from their own point of view.
And is that one of the things you think is most important for post-secondary writing? What are some of those things you consider most important?
Yeah, I think that is part of it, like developing a voice that sounds like them, like which is tough when you're 18 and figuring out who you are as an 18-year-old. So that's part of it, and then thinking about who they're writing for. To them, I think audience is very nebulous. It's just sort of someone out there, or it's me. And so deciding who they're writing for, why they're writing for that person, what that person really needs to know, how they can kind of control the message for that audience. That's the thing we work on most.
Can you tell us about an assignment or maybe a few assignments that you give that help them move into that?
Yeah. So one of them is, I'm going to need to think about this one for a minute. That was the one that didn't come to me automatically. It's almost every assignment, but one of the ones that we do in one of the first year writing classes is they're exploring. Nope. I am going to have to think about that one for a minute.
You can edit. No
All right.
problem.
Good. What would that be? Okay, got it.
Good.
All right, so they do it's a pretty straightforward rhetorical analysis of an advertisement, like old school assignment. They find an ad in a magazine, and they have to figure out what the message is and what they think about it, how effective it is. And what everyone does first, this is really funny, is they all start looking online for what other people say about advertising. And so there's sort of this moment where I have to train them to like, hey, yeah, like, just put the phones away for just a second. You can do this yourself. That's kind of the point. If someone else said it, you don't need to say it anymore.
And so do they come up with sort of interesting interpretations and then?
A lot of them do. Some of them are very resistant. They're like, but wait, I'm going to get it wrong if I don't look at what everyone else already said. I'm like, no, you can do it. Like, see all these things? You know these things. You have this thing over here. Apply those things to this thing.
Do some of them have like an aha moment when they do it?
Some of them do, yeah, and that's always really nice. And I think incorporating, they have to analyze how the message is visual in addition to whatever like words are there. And I think that helps a lot of them because they're a little bit more comfortable with that.
And do you feel like colleagues in other disciplines build on what you teach them?
Probably. It's hard to know. Our students go into so many disciplines, and when I see them, they don't always know what they are yet. I hope so, but I couldn't prove it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was great.